What's up, guys? Welcome to today's ER Money 101. I want to talk about a very important topic that most people do not really touch, and this really cuts board to everyone out there, not really just people looking to investing, but also if you're just a human being who has money, then you definitely need to watch this video. So the whole title of the video is you're always taking risk when it comes to your money. You might as well take high yielding risk, okay? You might as well take risk that's going to give you a good return on investment. Now, what do I mean by you're always taking risk? So what I mean by you're always taking risk when it comes to your money is basically if you're not investing, that is taking risk. If you're investing, that is taking risk. If you're spending your money, that is taking risk. If you're leaving your money in the bank account, that's taking risk. Living it in cash, that's taking risk. Everything that you do, risk is involved, okay? There's no such thing as no risk method on anything in life, right? If you walk outside today, you might get hit by a car. That's taking risk. But of course, you do not want to put yourself in a position where you do not want to go out to the world and venture, which is also another risk. So that's when it comes to your money, you want to make sure that you are actually taking good risk that's going to be giving you high yield returns. You do not want to fall into these categories, right? Most human population falls into this category. Number one, they're either going to be huge spenders. Number two, they're just saving cash. That's where a majority of people are. Okay, now there's this other category section here where people are still, guess what? Saving their money. They're still spending money, but they're also investing. Now the other part that gets a little bit more complicated is how much you're investing, how much you're saving, and how much you're spending. But I don't want to dive into that into this video today. I just want to dive into the whole concept of that you are taking risk right now with your money, like it or not. And the reason why you want to be able to get into the mindset of knowing that you're taking risk on your money without spending it or spending it, with saving it or not saving it or investing it. You're still taking risk all across the board. So I'm really going to talk to the people who are not investing, right? If you're not investing, hey man, come on now. I'm talking to you right now, okay? I'm talking to you right now. If you're not investing and you're a person who's like, well, I don't want to risk my money in the stock market, or I don't want to risk my money investing in real estate, I don't risk my money in trying to start something or trying to create an asset, wherever it might be, it's just too much risk. What you just say there is basically another fat way of saying, hey, look, I'd rather take the risk of never yielding anything back in return. That is what you just basically said. Matter of fact, the people who do not invest or anything like that, you're taking the biggest risk of them all. Okay, a person out there who's trying to invest, who's trying to learn how to invest, and they're losing money, they are taking a higher yielding risk than you are, but they're gonna get a way higher return than you. So when it comes to taking risk, I like to get it from two perspectives. There's lazy risk and active risk. Lazy risk is also high risk, and active risk is also high risk. Now, lazy risk has no yield. It has no yield. It's like me basically telling you like, hey, look, go do a lot of hard work and I guarantee you're not gonna get a return at all. Ever. Okay? That's basically what it means when you leave your money in the bank account, when you're not investing it. You are taking risk the laziest way, and guess what? Lazy people, you ain't gonna get nothing in return. Lazy money don't work for you. Now, the other person on the other side is an active investor. They are taking risk in the market. Now, are they gonna lose money? Of course, everybody does. Are they gonna learn something new? Yes, that's awesome. That's value, that's knowledge. Are they gonna be able to apply that to the future stuff that they're gonna be doing? Yes. What does that mean? They're taking higher risk, but they also gonna get a higher return. Now, of course, if you want to jump into the whole topic of taking risk, you want to make sure that you're doing risk management. Of course, I'm not saying like you're just rolling the dice in the market. No, I'm talking about just in general off the board. I do not want to dive too much into technicals in this video. I just want to shake you up a little bit. I just shook the camera upside down. One second, guys. There we go. So basically, I want you to take risk that's going to be able to help you to actually get something in return. So the first thing you want to be able to do is just make sure you understand what kind of category you're in. Are you a lazy investor or are you an active investor? Okay, if you're in the lazy investor category, please, I'm begging you, mercy, please start making your money do work for you. Now, when I mean by money start working for you, I'll talk about it in past videos. It basically means you want to be able to get to the point where you're able to invest money that in the future is going to be enough of a cash pool that when you're getting the returns from it is enough for you to survive on, and even a little bit enough for you to be able to invest back into your portfolio. That is what money is supposed to be doing for you. Now, the people who end up just staying on the lazy category of money, it basically means you essentially have to either always work for the rest of your life, or even if you end up having a little cash left behind, you're eating a little bit of interest from it, or maybe some kind of like government benefits, wherever it might be. It's not really going to be that enough of a kick, right? So you want to make sure that you're going to be in the active active investor category. Now, an active investor is a person who's constantly looking at how they can be able to make sure their money is giving them a higher yield of return. When you're able to find ways to get high yield on return on your money, you will really be able to be at a better position. Now, let's go back to the beginning of the video. Talk about everything is high risk, right? So when it comes to lazy money, I'm not saying that you should not have cash. I'm not saying you should not, save money. An active investor is saving money as well. But you have to remember, if your whole cash pool is getting eaten up by basically inflation every year, you're gonna lose, okay? So if you've saved your money for the next 50 years, you might end up losing 30 to 40% of that depending on the inflation rate in your country. That is a lot of money. You do not want to be able to be like, hey, I've saved up, let's say for example, you saved up $1 million. You saved $1 million, you're super excited. You saved $1 million, but later at that time period, in that time and age, due to inflation, that money is gonna be worth $400,000. You just worked super hard to save up $1 million to only find out that money is valued at a less value. That's lazy money. Lazy money just sits there in your bank account, collecting dust, just chilling, doing nothing, just biding its time. While active money, active investing, taking that risk is money that's working for you out there, trying to earn you back more dollars, or shillings, or naira, whatever it might be. You want to be able to be in a position where you're thinking about that constantly, okay? Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys in this video. As in, honestly, I had to cut myself there because I was already starting to dive into more deeper topics when it comes to investing. This whole point of this video was more of just kind of give you a kick, a punch, whatever it might be, to just tell you hey, look, you're taking risk right now. It does not matter what you're doing with your money. You're taking risk. If you're not investing, if you're just saving up cash, that is taking huge risk. That's probably the biggest risk ever because it's never gonna return anything. Money sitting in your bank account is collecting inflation. It's actually losing you money. That's a fact. Now, the other side, we have active investors. Yes, does it mean you take risk in the market? Yes, but what kind of risk is it going to be? It's a risk that's going to yield you returns. Do not let your money just sit there and collect dust. You need your money to work for you. Okay? Because if you do not get your way to find a way to make your money work for you by even yielding back a good return a year above inflation rate, remember the key part, above inflation rate, and the further from inflation we get, the better it is. So you want to make sure that you're thinking about that, and I hope that you'll be able to apply that into your life. And always remember, in life, you're always taking risk. The question is, what type of risk do you want to take? The one that's going to just sit there and do nothing? Lazy risk? High risk? This is probably the highest risk ever, man. What if I just told you today, look, for the next 20 years, you're gonna be working at some place or you're gonna be doing something, and at the end of that, you're gonna get nothing in return. Nothing. Matter of fact, you're gonna lose. And I told you all you gotta do is nothing. Okay? Nothing. That's basically what you're doing with your lazy money. Okay? Nothing is something, because it's losing you value, money, and you have to work for that money. Okay? Now on the other end, I told you, hey look, for the next 20 years, you're gonna have to work hard. You're gonna have to research. You're gonna have to learn stuff. But at the end of the day, your money is gonna work for you. Okay? You saved up 20K, later on it's gonna be worth 80K, 100K, 140K, depending on how good you are investing. And of course, you have to remember, if you're above inflation rate, you're getting 5% more, 7% more, 10% more. That alone is enough for a person in their lifetime to have their money saved up, invested well enough to be able to end up becoming an income stream later on, while still being able to invest and be able to take those assets and pass it on to the next generation. Next generation does the same thing, and the money gets passed on and on, on and on and on. That's called generational wealth building. But if you never started with you, it ain't gonna happen to the next generation, because now you're not gonna teach them. You're not gonna see the value in it. So you have to be that person in your family who's gonna gather everybody around and be like, hey, is our money lazy or is it working? And if it's lazy, what can we do to make it work? Okay? Do not be afraid to talk about money. Start having conversations about money. You and your friends, start talking about money. Now, I'm not talking about you come out and start being like, hey, look, man, look at how much money I'm getting, how much guap. No. I'm talking about start talking about different things like, hey, you see how the market is doing? Oh, yeah, the market's doing pretty good. I got some returns back on my investment. Oh, you're investing? What are you investing in? Oh, I'm investing in this and that. That's interesting. How do you invest? Oh, that's good. Is it high risk? Well, yeah, there is risk, but I've been able to get this returns, and this is my R to R ratio. Interesting. What is R to R ratio? Oh, risk to return ratio. you start talking to other people who are investing, you learn something. You talk to someone who's not invested before, you tell them like, hey, you want to partner up and learn together. When you start having conversations about money, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna start seeing more of that in your life. You're gonna start attracting more people who like investing, okay? It's the same thing. Very simple fact right here. If you love soccer and you talk a lot about soccer and it's a good conversation topic for you, you probably right now have a lot of friends who love talking about soccer and who can be able to give you the deep details about how Messi is doing, or Cristiano Ronaldo, or this player or this coach or that coach, how they relate to this or their tactics in the field. Now, if you start talking about investing, you'll attract people who are also going to be talking about that, and sooner or later you'll also become an expert at it, okay? So do not be afraid to talk about money, do not be afraid to talk about investing, and do not be afraid to tell another person you do not know anything if that person knows something, because I'm gonna guarantee you something, okay? Personally, for me, when a person tells me they're interested in investing, I can rant all day about it. I'm so passionate about it. I want to teach other people so they can learn something, and later on we can share and kind of like, you know, have this relationship where we're sharing with each other. I know I'm digressing towards the end of the video here, but I just wanted to touch that little part towards the end, just in case you're afraid about investing. Trust me, guys, when I started learning about investing, I didn't know jack squat, okay? But sooner or later, you start learning, you get better and better, you start talking to the people who know about investing, and you're always continuously learning, okay? And I'm gonna tell you one final tip trick here, right? If you wanna be able to know how to invest, find 3 people who are great at investing, okay? Choose at least one person who's a huge public figure, okay, like Warren Buffett or something like that, someone who's good at investing your money. And then second, choose a person who's kind of more at your age group, someone at your age group. I know, your age group. You might be like, I'm 16 years old. How am I gonna find a person who's good at investing? Trust me, there's a lot of people on the internet who do this, okay? Who are good at investing. We're 16 years old. Okay, Warren Buffett started investing and trading at age 11, so do not make excuses. Find a person who's around your age group. If you're too young, find a person who's 16, 17, 18, at least in your teens range, okay? Find that person and see how they're investing. So you want to make sure you're able to take a person who's like an OG, Warren Buffett, learn from his tactics, look at another person in your age group, learn from their tactics, then look at yourself, relate to it, and the final third person you're going to look at is the person who's close to you, a family member, a brother-in-law, or something like that. For example, for me, Okari, he's my brother-in-law. He's good at investing. He's been investing for a while, so I always pick a bone on him to learn how to invest. Find somebody who is in your circle, who's close to you, who you can talk about investing. And then number 4, you. Yeah, you. You're gonna become a person who's gonna aspire and you gotta just screw the word. You're gonna find a way to inspire yourself by imaging yourself in the future, being like, I don't know jack squat about investing right now, but 10 years from now, 4 years from now, a year from now, I want to be at this level. And you want to imagine of that person, project in your head each and every day of that person who's investing in that category. You're gonna be like, hey, look, I want to, like, by the end of the year, I want to own like 3 shares in something. I want to own 3 shares in some company. I want to be able to learn about how real estate works in my community. I want to know if I can be able to even do real estate right now. Is there a way I can do no money down real estate in my country? You want to be so curious and fascinated and start opening up doors. And you have to. Be the 4th person who's gonna be that category, the person you want to look up to. Okay, so you're gonna look up to a person who's gonna be like you in the future. You, yes, I'm talking to you. You're you in the future. So that you're you in the future. When you think about yourself from the perspective of you in the future, and you think about it in the perspective of I'm gonna be a good investor, will end up happening, something pretty cool will start happening if you start having conversations with your future self, and you end up learning that you actually already know more about investing than you think. Because if you've walked on this earth for the last 20 years, definitely. 16 years, yes. 17 years, definitely. 18 years, definitely. Basically, if you're about 15 years old, you've definitely been touched when it comes to investing, and you have seen it in your eyes, you've seen it in the world, in your eyes or out of you, I don't care. You've seen it out there, and all you have to do is just simply ask yourself, when did I ever see someone invest? When did I ever think about investing? When did I ever have a point where I'm like, my goodness, did I just spend all my money? What happened here? All those thoughts are about investing. It's not that complicated. Okay, so I don't want you to start going into like, oh, I don't know what risk to return ratio. I don't know what a Sharpe ratio is. Don't care about that stuff. Okay, don't care about it. Find the simplest way you can invest and start doing it. Okay, even if it's $1, find a way to make that dollar bring back even a 0.001 back. Anything back is better than nothing. Okay. Thanks for watching the video. A piece of the out. Oh my god, it's 15 minutes up there. It was like at 6 minutes where I said I was gonna cut it off, but I don't care. I have no script in these videos. I just go and go and go. Anyway, now I gotta go actually, literally. So peace out. Thanks for watching the video. Atas. I don't even know what that is. Atas. Atas. I hope. Look, if that's a curse word in another language, I apologize.